Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And the final unit for the Divine General team has come out. The very, very enticing looking Blanc, the avatar of Allure. And she is definitely not what we were expecting once again. So, the last banner with the hero, she's good, but she's not what we wanted. This Blanc is, I would say, kind of on that same wavelength where she's good, but she is not what we were wanting or even expecting at this point. So, I did 120 her because I got pretty lucky, and I just like Blanc a lot. But if we look at her, she is space and magic. She's on Divine General, Otherworld Legend, Primal Demon, and Fount of Wisdom. She uses a hammer, which is kind of interesting because this just looks like it would be a lance, but sure, whatever. Um, she's a single target alt. So she's a DPS character, just like Raphael. So we have two single target space nukers on this team. They don't do anything above and below each other. They don't have any personal buffs. It's just another. Everybody gets buffed regardless. However, her first skill, I said that since Elmesia seals all three of the big time buffs, Pierce, Synergy, and Crit, and Diablo and the hero gave Pierce and Synergy, it would make only logical sense that they would give Blanc Crit. Well, it's not where we went today. Because we went with just a straight up 150% ult damage for everybody, which is a lot. It's a lot of damage. However, we were already getting, if you were running the team consistently like it wanted to be run, we were already getting like between 20 and 30 stacks, if not more, of ult damage from Raphael. So an extra 150 was unnecessary. Why didn't they give her the crit skill? Why? I don't understand. Like, you set the example with Almesia. Why did you not follow it up? Why did you go out of your way to shaft Blanc? We have so many other alt buffing units. Like, we don't need any more. We didn't need any on this team in the first place because we are permanently stacking alt damage with Raphael. We already have alt covered. And if you're using all of them properly, you're getting so much that it outclasses what teams normally have for alt damage to begin with. So why seal crit if you can't actually crit with any of the new meta characters? These are questions that I'm never going to get an answer to, which means you're never going to get an answer to, which means that this is just ass. It's not good. It's like 150% on paper is a lot of alt damage. But there is such a thing in this game as diminishing returns, where too much of one thing versus something else entirely is not good. So this team did not need more alt damage. It needed your crit damage buffer. I don't understand what they did with this kit. And then her second skill, which we already knew from the skill preview earlier today, is the triple alt swap, but it only hits space characters. And then it stacks weakness resistance down. Like, ooh, whoop-de-doo. I'm not using an alt swap multiple times a turn if she's only swapping space characters. So, like, even if I have 3 space characters on the front line, it's going to swap all 3 of them. I don't really need to use this again, nor do I want to make it more expensive, because I'm so busy stacking with Raphael and Gazel and using Diablo's green buff that this is just unnecessary. So I think they intentionally went out of their way to make Blanc not that good, unfortunately. I mean, she has a really good trait. Her Valor trait's terrible, but her actual trait is our very first space unit with protection gauge on the second turn. And that's kind of why I wanted to dupe her up as well, because she has a really good trait, and no other space character has that until now. But that doesn't make up for the fact that these skills are unnecessary. Like, alt damage is unnecessary for this team. And specifically only swapping space character alts to greens is stupid. I get what they're going for. They want us to send the Diablo alt and the hero alt so we can get extra weakness strike. Like, yes, I understand that. But at some point, it's better to get 6 hands of green so you could get maximum points back, so you can use more stacks of Raphael to get more synergy power and alt damage. Rather than sending for 25% weakness strike. Ooh, shiver me timbers. Shut up. No. I'm a little bit unhappy with how they've handled this. The hero is a good character. Rewind is a good skill. 100% Pierce Power is a good skill. No one else gave remotely even close to that except Protector Benimaru, who's a Protector, and friggin' Aqua, who gave 60%. Like, yeah, excellent. You can't get Aqua anymore, and Benimaru's a Protector, whose rerun hasn't even come back yet. We needed a Pierce character, so the hero did that, and Rewind is a good skill. It was a bit unnecessary, the secondary effect for that with Alt Rush on this team. Like, I would have much rather run the old Space Hero if she counted for the orb change, but she doesn't. But objectively, the hero is a good unit. Diablo, I think, is the best unit to come out of this entire banner. As far as battle characters are concerned, Elmesia is really good, but she's a Protector. She's graded differently. But, Raphael is only buffing space and dark. That's a limitation. The Pierce buff is cool, but it's the least powerful of crit and synergy. But we don't have crit anymore, so it's not even on the table. Diablo having a free green buff and multi-use skills and synergy power, that is the most impactful character of this meta. And then we have Blanc, who does alt damage and only orb changes space characters. So I don't get it. I do not understand the logic behind this. Thankfully, on one good note, is her banner is a lot higher value than the hero's, because the hero was just her and Vengeance Veldora, who was terrible. Meanwhile, this Blanc has Exalted Champion Guy, a pretty good space AoE character. Primal Demon Jean, she's not that great. But we have Primal Demon Diablo, who can be a solid support and an AoE space DPS for physical. And then we have not Primal Demon, but Visions of Coleus Violet, who is still a really good character. And you could probably put on this team and she'd help you do a lot of damage because this team is magic and she's got a 100% magic buff. And then we have Rain, who is like the burst version of Violet, where she's got like a small magic buff. But the fact that you have Violet and Guy here at bare minimum makes the value like 10 times better than what the hero's banner is. But if the main summonable unit is actually not all that in a bag of chips, like, it's not really worth it. If you have another alt buffer, just bring them. Or you don't need to, because again, you have Raphael, who's giving you 100, 200% permanent alt damage. It's just legitimately unnecessary for this team. And I don't understand why. I don't understand a lot of things with this team. I don't understand why Beatdown Battle has 2 blue orbs, but Gazel only changes 1, and he's the only orb changer on this team. I don't understand why the hero has an alt rush ability on her rewind when we're getting passive alt gauge from Elmesia, and we're sending 6 hands of greens that are buffed by 50% from Gazel and Diablo. I don't understand why we have a temporary 150% alt buff when we're already getting 300% with Raphael, or at least I am getting 300% with Raphael. Yeah, sure, 450% alt damage sounds really cool, but I would have rather had 100% crit damage because it would have helped more. There are many questionable things that they have done for this anniversary, and it has all led to, I think, the general disappointment of this meta, and just disappointment. I don't have any other words to say. Do not summon for Blanc. Like, don't do it. She's not a generic alt swapper. She's only changing space. She's a generic alt buffer. Yeah, that's cool. There's 1,000 units that do that. You don't need Blanc. Unless you're a simp like me and you love Blanc, then have at it. But if you have Raphael, Diablo, and Elmesia, and Gazel technically, like, no, you do not summon for the hero. That banner is ass. And you don't summon for Blanc because she's just not that good in terms of what this team is built around. She's unnecessary. She's a luxury character who I actually don't think actually helps the team that much, besides having an alt swap. I'd rather just bring friggin' Overlord Shizu. We were doing equivalent damage with her. So, no, guys. Again, if you need it spelled out, you summon on the triple banner. You get Elmesia, Raphael, Diablo. You do not summon for this Milliman guy. You do not summon for Isis and Kyokyo. You do not summon for the hero. And you do not summon for Blanc. This should be the only banner you touch until December pops around and we see if we get a collab and what that collab actually is. But at this point, if you have these 3 characters, call it a day. Don't spend any more crystals. Wait it out. If you don't have one of them, continue summoning to get them. And I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't. I can just tell you that I'm pretty much disappointed with this 3rd anniversary at this point. The unit picks I think are fine. The animations are good. A lot of other things about this that I'll talk about in its own separate video. I'm just not thrilled. So, if you did summon for Blanc, let me know how you guys did. Hopefully, you all got lucky on this not great unit. But that's it. From me, guys. Take it easy. Let me know if I'm being too harsh or something. But I'll see you all later.